funny how people view the world not only affects how we act, but also actually affects who we are. When someone is in a spiritual journey or a spiritual conversation and they view themselves in a void, it's amazing how quickly that person cascades into selfishness. However, when someone embraces the idea of a spiritual journey that involves God, who is constant and active in our world around us, and that God, He is actively bringing people together into divine moments, into divine intersections, that God is actively working in our world in a way to bring change and to bring hope. Those people embrace something new. See, it's interesting because when we start to take this idea that God is actually active in our world, we start to lay aside some of the old structures and archaic rules that choke who we are, that we try to fit ourselves into. And we start to become people who ask meaningful questions. Questions not because our world is slipping into anarchy, but our world is actually revolving around a relationship with a God of character, of hope, and of love. See, this is a very different thing, that we approach people who are in interaction with this God who is so great. It's interesting because in the scriptures, so many times we see this view of God who wants to be close to humanity, that He wants communion with us. In fact, in the very beginning of the scriptures in Genesis chapter 1, in the first few verses, we see that the scriptures say that the Spirit of God was hovering over the depths. And the word for spirit in the Hebrew is multifaceted. The word for spirit, God's Spirit was hovering, is ruah. And ruah can mean spirit, but it can also mean wind, and it can also mean breath. And what's interesting is in Genesis chapter 2, when God comes and creates man out of the earth and then breathes into his nostrils the breath of life, the word that is used there is the ruah. And so in a sense, God is breathing into man life. See, from the beginning of our story, God has been close to us. God has wanted to work out what it means to be human and in relationship with Him, with us.